Hello, everybody, and welcome to my garden. Yes, it's beautiful weather again. We're outdoors. So I just hope that you are catching me well. Yes, we're live. If you're watching live, it would be cool if you could drop a message. Um, but anyway, I want to welcome everybody to the 8th episode of Spilling the Green Beans. This is where I share with you my green secrets to inspire you to start growing your own vegetables. So, I am your host, Emily, creator of Easy Urban Gardening, the system for growing your own vegetables on a balcony or terrace in town. And I want to thank you for spending time with me today. Growing vegetables can seem very daunting and hard work. So I share with you my green secrets, the most crucial techniques to make it fun and easy. You'll also learn how to take advantage of the broad health benefits of gardening and how to cook delicious meals with your homegrown vegetables. I am spilling the green beans. So, last week we spoke about how important it is to plan your garden. And today I want to talk not so much about gardening per se, nor about vegetables, but about the wider health benefits of gardening, about reconnecting to nature, or what I also like to call mindful gardening. So, mindful gardening for me is having a daily gardening routine of 5 to 10 minutes. And in these 5 to 10 minutes, I, of course, do the real gardening that has to be done, like watering the plants that are thirsty, maybe removing some brown leaves or removing some weeds, maybe guiding a bean or the cucumber up like the trellis. Thinning my seedlings or pruning the tomatoes can be one of those little tasks. Another one can be hunting for snails, which fortunately living on a rooftop terrace is not that common a task, but it still has to be done. And of course, I harvest what is ready to eat. And that's, of course, the most fun part of it. But actually, more important are the other things that happen during those daily 5 to 10 minutes. So let me share with you what I mean with that. First of all, I am outside. So besides the gardening and getting my vegetables to eat that night, I am outside. I get my fresh air. Even in winter with the tiniest little bit of sunshine, I do catch it. So my vitamin D levels are actually extremely well, even in the darkest time of winter. Second, it's kind of like this little daily moment of relaxing. It's de-stressing. It is winding down. It's letting the whole busy day behind me, kind of, refocus on what is around me, what is happening, what is important, giving my eyes some rest of all the video calls and teleconferences and computer screens that nowadays are, of course, a very, very common daily thing. And because I do take that daily time to de-stress, to unwind, to really close off the day before I go into, say, my late afternoon or evening, it also kind of like brings me back in the present. It makes me very conscious. It is connecting with nature. It is accepting the natural pace of things in a garden. I mean, Mother Nature is absolutely a wonderful creature, but she does take her time. She can't be speed up. I mean, you can't speed her up. You can't dictate her what you'd like to happen. It is what it is, and it comes as it comes. And that is a very, very healthy thing to engulf yourself in, I think. And then it is kind of like, it's my me time. I am outside, I am doing what I want to do, what I think that I need to do, which is not dictated by anybody else. It's not dictated by work colleagues or by friends that have expectations about me to do certain things. It's not dictated by a boss or by a job or by whatever schedule you're normally on. This time is unscheduled. It's mine, it's me, and it's my garden. And with that, it's nature, it's Mother Nature, it's my plants, it's the bees, it's the birds, it's the bumblebees, it's everything. It's the soil, it's everything that is mine. And that is really, really, really valuable. So to give you a little bit more an idea, I have my daily gardening routine set for either late afternoon or early evenings. This time difference, it actually just depends on the time of year, as checking your garden in the dark is not so easy. Although I have to say, your telephone, your mobile flashlight does come in handy over winter. I have to admit that. But of course, you can set your routine to take place what is easy for you. The most important thing is that you actually put it into your daily life in a way that it's natural to stick to it. So don't force yourself up on a gardening routine in the morning because everybody around you says you have to go into your garden in the morning because that's the only time it's good to water your plants. Or to everybody who says, oh no, you have to do everything in the evening because that's the only time that it's easy to find the snails that are running around. Just make it as it is easy for you. I always say easy urban gardening is possible with maintenance only like 5 to 10 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day is actually kind of like you can do it. But of course, I love my garden so much. I never stick to the 5 minutes per day, but nevertheless. So I do also divide my time a little bit over the day. And I also have a lot of clients that split their routine kind of like in 2 parts. Especially now at this moment where many of us are still in lockdown and home kind of like all day. So they do a little check on the vegetables during their lunch break, including, of course, harvesting some fresh greens or maybe some radishes for their lunch. And then they do the watering and the other more technical things at the end of the workday to wind down from that busy schedule, to really get away from the computer for a little while after, as I said, all those video calls and virtual team meetings that we now have. So it's all up to you. If I look at myself, I often go into my garden just before I have lunch, just to pick some fresh greens or to pimp up my lunch, whatever I'm having for lunch, food-wise. And then I have a little bit more time at the end of the day and take that me time, that de-stressing, unwinding time that I need. And in summer, I actually add a third period in the day to that because my rooftop terrace, it gets scorching hot in summer. So I add an extra morning round to water my plants. And then I have my normal lunch round, and then I add watering, or I water my plants again at night. But that is just because of my personal situation, and it's only like really in the hot summer months. Then there is one final health benefit of gardening that I want to mention, and that is touching the soil. I personally hardly ever wear gardening gloves. And that's first, I also don't really need them because an easy urban garden, of course, is a no-dig garden. So you don't need to do any really hard work that could cause blisters or cuts to your hands or anything like that. But for me personally, more important is that I really like to play in the dirt. And the nicest thing is, I mean, almost every gardener will tell you that gardening it's soothing, it's their happy place, it makes them more optimistic, etc., etc. And the nicest thing is, actually, research now confirms that, because research has shown that soil microbes have been found to have the similar effects on the brain, and are without the side effects of chemical dependency potential as common known antidepressants. So actually, there is a natural antidepressant in soil. It's called, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but it's Mycobacterium vaccae, and it is the substance that is studied at the moment and has been found to mirror the effects on the neurons that drugs like Prozac provide, or any other common antidepressant. So it is found to stimulate serotonin production, which makes you relaxed and happier. So it actually is true. Gardening does make you happier. It does de-stress you. It does make you relaxed. It does, on the long run, I mean, it's said, I mean, helps with sleeping better. As I already said, it's in general good for your immune system, if it's only because you are keeping your vitamin D level really, really up. And how do we get to those bacteria? It is through inhaling. It is to topical contact, so on the skin. So that's what I said. I don't wear gloves. I love grabbing and playing around in the dirt with my hands. And actually, it even goes into our bloodstreams, because especially, I mean, just imagine your hands, not even talking about having a cut or something like that, but just about your hands. How often is it? I mean, we all know, if you go with your hands into the dirt, you have, like, you know, the black rings at your nails. And those are exactly the spots where tiny, tiny little, what they call pathways through the skin into the bloodstream are very, very common. And in that way, it actually, even these bacteria can enter your bloodstream pretty easy. But that's a good thing. And research so far indicates that the natural effects of these soil bacteria antidepressant can be felt for up to 3 weeks. So yes, gardening does improve your health and well-being in many, many different ways. You're outside, so just being outside, and especially in the sun, it makes people happy. But more important, it keeps you healthier because your vitamin D levels are up. It keeps you healthier because you actually profit more of the vitamin and minerals, so the nutritional value of your vegetables. As they are not old, they still have everything they had to offer in them when you eat them. It helps with relaxation. It helps make you sleep better. It helps, as we just learned, it's antidepressant. So it is really, really good for your general health and well-being in many, many different ways. So I would say, I don't know where you are, but as you can see behind me, it's beautiful weather here. So I would say, go get out there, get your hands dirty, and remember that touching the soil is like touching the soul. Thank you for spending time with me in the garden, and I hope to meet you in your garden soon. Did you enjoy this episode of Spilling the Green Beans? Then please share, subscribe, and give a YouTube review so more people can enjoy the show. I see you in next week's episode when I talk about the extremely healthy vegetable, Cavallo Nero, also called palm tree kale or Tuscan kale, and what delicious things you can make with it. See you next week. Bye.